Chronic traumatic encephalopathy in concussion. Dr. Bennett Omalu was a pathologist in Pittsburgh doing autopsies. He did an autopsy for a famous football player who died of a heart attack. After he realized that the man's brain looked healthy from the outside, but the symptoms he had been experiencing were uncharacteristic of such a healthy brain, Dr. Omalu ran numerous tests with his own money to understand what was happening. He found that there were anomalies in the brain tissue, but they weren't specified in the movie. After studying more football players who took their own lives or died in some way before their average life expectancy, he was able to name a disease called chronic traumatic encephalopathy, which comes when there is repeated subconcussive blows to the head over many years. In the movie, Dr. Omalu tries to convince the NFL of the dangers it's putting its players in by not making them aware of the risk, but they try to bury him and his discovery. In the end, after the death and subsequent donation of the brain of Dave Duerson, the NFL allows Dr. Omalu to present on the danger, and his presentations and future publications caused the U.S. government to get involved in a formal investigation. The examination and explanation of CTE in concussion is accurate, albeit less specific than the original research. The first research paper Dr. Omalu published, he used medical history to categorize symptoms and a complete neuropathological exam to diagnose chronic traumatic encephalopathy by viewing the amyloid plaques, neurofibrillary tangles, and tau-positive neuritic threads. In this image that you can see, box A has pink-stained areas that are the amyloid plaques in the neocortex. Box B has dark purple areas that show neurofibrillary tangles and tau-positive neuritic threads at 200 times magnification. At 400 times magnification, box C shows a close-up view of a neuron from the same patient with neurofibrillary tangles and tau-positive process on the dendrite. Box D shows proof of the absence of amyloid plaques in the hippocampus, thus ruling out Alzheimer's. The facts were presented very well in Concussion. Aside from the absence of specific neuroscience terms, the movie does a good job of helping the viewer understand what is happening at a very surface level of understanding. For the second paper that Dr. Omalu published, he did a similar sort of method. He reviewed medical history, talked to family members about psychological symptoms, and did a comprehensive neuropathological examination after death of a separate football player who also died of unnatural causes. In this table, Dr. Omalu categorized the frequency of neurofibrillary tangles and neuropil threads, thus referred to as NFTs and NTs, that are definitive damage associated with CTE. The most prominent gatherings of these NFTs and NTs are in the frontal lobe, superior and middle temporal gyri, the entorhinal cortex of the hippocampus, the locus ceruleus of the rostral pons and caudal midbrain, and the locus ceruleus in the mid/caudal pons. The topic again was presented in a more superficial way in the movie and never went into the specifics of tangles and plaques. However, the phenotypic symptoms and results are explained very well in the movie. Overall, the movie explains the science in a very surface-level way, not going into the specifics of what is happening in the brain tissue. For the trained neuroscientist, this could be frustrating, but it does educate the general public about the dangers of near-constant head injuries. As a neuroscientist, you could use this movie to explain the chronic side effects of subconcussive blows, but it would not be useful for explaining the actual neurological reason for the disease chronic traumatic encephalopathy. In this picture, Dr. Bennett Omalu is standing to the left of Will Smith, who plays Dr. Bennett Omalu in the movie Concussion.